And we are live. Hello, everybody, and hello, Rachel.
Hey, hello. We usually don't do Facebook Lives, our YouTube, our Instagram Live in the morning, but today it's different.
Almost afternoon for the people in Europe.
True story. That's very true.
Hmm.
So today we're going to have a conversation I'm going to say, like, I'm so different. It's one of the areas that just every time I talk about joy business, I instantly get happy. I just instantly become happier. And so we're going to have a conversation about joy business, correct?
Yes, we are. I was just arranging so everybody can see us and
You
everybody
mean
can
you
hear
you
us.
mean you were having the joy business?
Exactly.
And so we have this call coming up on Saturday. It's a taster of joy business. And I'm going to read the name because I created it like in a nanosecond. And it's how much cognitive dissonance are you using to keep you seeking failure instead of success with business? How much cognitive dissonance are you using to keep you in failure instead of success in business? And so I crafted this topic after working with a lot of people. What I've recognized, I'm pretty sure it's like 9 years I'm a joy business facilitator now. People genuinely have the point of view that work is difficult, work is hard, it's stressful, and very few people have a sense of relaxation and excitement about their future and what business can facilitate for their lives.
Hmm. Yeah, and I get like it's very different, like what we have been taught,
Yeah.
because I know like my experience with business and what everybody would tell me is like it's your job, like it's mainly like you do work
Yeah.
for money, and like
Which
for
I
me
which
that,
I which I can't do.
yeah, and like I try to like force myself into that,
Yeah.
and like the more that I force that, like first of all, it didn't work. Like I was not able to generate money, especially like when I was doing my like looking to create my own business. Like every time, like I know, like when I make it about the money, that everything would start to, yeah, exactly, contract and get smaller. And like, and one of the things that we're talking about is cognitive dissonance. And cognitive dissonance is when you have like conflicting beliefs or values or point of views. And for me, that was, oh, like I have to do business for money, but I actually don't enjoy doing business just for the money of it. And like when I actually do that, my business doesn't grow. And I was like, okay, like what else is possible here? And that where joy of business tools really contributed to me to create something different. And
Mm.
like one of the things that in joy of business, like Simon Lesser says, like money follows joy, joy doesn't follow money.
And I get very few people in the world really trust that as something that's true.
Yeah, and how many of you actually like listen to this now or in the future were trained to actually practice that, to train to choose that, like going, hey, actually, if you're choosing something that's not fun for you, like you will diminish your money flows. Like instead of choosing that, making money the first, or the money as your compass,
Yeah.
actually, what if you made following the energy and what is ease for you, what is true for you, what lights you up, what brings you a more sense of joy, like what actually, when you do it in the end of the day, instead of drowning your energy, actually what gives you more energy. And I get like that's one of the big parts that we are not, like some of us never actually invited to this as a possibility, especially in the area of business?
Totally. I've known you probably 5 years now, and I've seen
Mm,
you evolve, transform. I'm going to say, like, settle into being like a steady presence, a steady, kind presence in business. And one of the things that I see is, particularly when it comes to business, we haven't been supported, we haven't had an additive consciousness stand next to us and support us to gift our being. Now, this is a consciousness conversation, whereas Troy as a being has these gifts, but we've been told to go against our being to actually make money or to do business. And one of the things that we're seeing in the world right now is the symptoms of people being disconnected to their being when it comes to money and work,
mm,
and the side effects of that. This is my perspective on it. Is that people are either are sick or mental health problems, and can you imagine? I mean, consider me like wildly crazy. Can you imagine a world where people actually knew that their gifts and their services were a contribution and they didn't have to take from anyone? There was no pressure to buy, that they invited people to their service, to their product, and that it was something that actually enhanced their abilities and their capacities and their skills, and you became more competent. And it's just like, sometimes I trip out on this, like, what would it take to live in a world where the joy business is more common than people hating their job, or I have to get out of work, I need a break, blah, blah, blah. And there's just so many points of views. I've met me in my own points of views, to get to the lightness of what's true for me,
mm.
and we have inherited so many lies about money and business that truly don't allow us to I'm going to say, like, don't allow us to thrive, to grow, to become greater. And so this is one of the areas that cognitive dissonance conversation, it's where you're thinking, where you're figuring out, where you're continuously, like, in conflict with yourself, opposing points of views. And now I'm going to say something that's wildly different, is one of the things that we're developing, and I do my best every day to practice, is following the energy. Who is looking for my business, who is looking for my products, who is looking for the workshops that I provide, who is looking for what we have, and come
Mm.
find me. And
That
it's
question, like question, because how often that we trained to go into a conclusion and find a solid conclusion as though like that would create our business instead of asking questions. And like wherever you are in your life at the moment, like you may be in a job that you hate, like you may be in a job that's ease for you, and you're like, hey, I actually would like to have more. Like starting with a question, hey, like what else is possible here? What I can create today? Like what is the infinite possibilities? Like what would it take for me to have more fun? And like for me, that's like the beauty of the tools of access consciousness, because it's not about now like quitting your job that you hate, but actually starting to like use the tools so you can starting to build something greater and actually clear all of the point of views that you have that doesn't allow you to enjoy and actually be grateful for what you are creating or the job that you are in right now, so that actually can be a contribution to you, because
your body.
and your body, because probably that job that you're in right now is contributing to you, at least I hope, some money for you to pay your rent or pay your bills. And I see like so many people like go into the rejection of it, going, oh, like this is bad, this is terrible. And one of the things, or and the judgment of it, but when you do go into the judgment of what you are creating, then you cannot receive what it is gifting, and you cannot actually build something greater. And I get these sort of business tasters is so valuable in that we actually get to come together and dive in to these point of views, and they usually like move very, very fast.
Yeah.
And like with people's questions, that we get to explore like different topics and different point of views, like where you are limiting you and when you are looking to create your life as the smallest, in the smallest possible way, instead of allowing it to grow and change and become greater all the time.
And you know, the thing for me is that I had left myself down in so many places when I was using other people's judgments as the source, as an energy source for creating my future, you know, and to actually like have your own back and to be caring and kind to you in what you would like to have and the way you would like to work. It seems like so uncommon. And one of the questions that we use in Access Consciousness, which you refer to, is what can I be and do today to create my living? And
Mm.
it seems like that there's so much resistance and reaction to what can I be and do today to create my living? I'm going to take an action because this is the future that I would like to have, you know? And so it's joy of business is the adventure of living. In that, when I work today, I'm in my office today, and I'm being and doing. You know, I'm being and doing something different to have what I would like to have, and so to include your body in your business and to include not only a financial profit, which I hope it is. It probably isn't for most. Also, I have to acknowledge that, but also the profit of the people that you work, profiting in different ways, the people that you work with. You know, I met you through the growth and the expansion of the business. And for me, it's just the joy of business is this wild journey where you choose something, some things don't work, you might F it up, you know. But you don't go to the point of view you failed. You go to the point of view, what did I learn from this, and now what? Moving on. So there's
Mhm.
not
And
there's
every failure that you have is one step closer to your success.
totally. And also with this class, it's like, what have you decided success is? That it isn't. What have you misinterpreted the judgments of success? You know, because for me, I defined what success is for Rachel O'Brien. There's no one can
Mm.
tell me what success for me is. Seeing people smile, seeing people change, you know, knowing that I can be a contribution to someone, knowing that people can actually like take charge of their life, you know, and
Yeah.
create the
And
life
that's
they like to live.
and I get like that's huge, especially like for like we're right now like living in a world that have a lot of momentum towards that success is having a lot of money. And if you don't have a lot of money, that means that you're not successful. And there's so many standards of what success is,
Yeah.
and yet is any of them is true for you. And
Are
how
you
do you know
right?
that? If something is light for you, that's true for you. And if something's heavy, that is a lie. And I would put myself into this realities standard, and I would actually go to, oh, like I'm not successful, I am not achieving as much, or I am not going into the right direction. And instead of acknowledging and asking a question, going, hey, like what is valuable for me? What
Mm.
I would like to have, what I would like to experience in my like daily life, and like really starting to exploring what that energies are and getting clear on what you would like to create without going into what other people tell you you should do. And how many of you that actually did said what everybody told you you should do, and you achieved all of them, and in the end that you were actually still not fulfilled because that was not true for you. What you required, what you actually need, not from lack, was actually something different. And for me, I know having space in my daily life, having a sense of ease, a sense of peace, a sense of quietness, actually working with people that contributes to me, and actually creating a world towards more kindness and actually have more consciousness is my priority. And And this is not like from like a solid conclusion, because this changes all the time, because we change all the time, and which are change what we would like to have change as well. And
Mm.
that's the beauty of Access, which always moves and change and asks questions instead of going into a conclusion.
And I do want to include also that my whole financial reality did change when I became more conscious. And as I become more conscious, I do actually have an ability to care for myself more financially and bring in more money into my reality. So I also do want to say that it is one of the profits that I have received, you know. But not
Mm.
only that, that's not enough for me when I climb into bed at night. It's like, you know, did I behave today in a way that is in line with the person that I would like to become? That's success for me. What was the energy of my living today? You know, was there a peace? Was there a relaxation? Or was I frantic and getting upset all the time, which is not affecting my body, you know, which is affecting your body? And so we'd love to invite you to this intro call. It's Saturday night, you know,
Yeah.
very non-linear for this autistic creator. Let's do a business call, Troy, on Saturday night. And Troy's like, okay. So it's Saturday night, March 22nd, and it's called How Much Cognitive Dissonance Are You Using to Keep You Seeking Failure Instead of Success? And we'll come in, we clear your points of views, we'll give you tools, questions, you change your point of view. And I found, Troy, that even if I change my point of view, like let's say like I go one gauge on the clock, like I directionally change it like 15 degrees, my whole living shows up different. It's wild.
Mm. That's still something that I'm gonna say, like that's like that is for me the magic. Like when you are willing to change the point of view that you see the world from, like your whole world changes. And it's just like still like when it happens to me, like especially after that, I have a sense that I'm stuck or things are not like moving. And when I'm willing to change my point of view, every time everything's starting to move again and everything's starting to grow again. And for me, that's such a beautiful way to live.
And it's one of the keys of joy business that we talk about mainly in the 3-day class, which is business done from receiving. But that's a conversation for another day because it's such
Yeah,
a big conversation.
it's
So
big.
we've my whole life has changed in the way that business has been, I'm going to say, a platform that allowed me to enhance my skills, my abilities, and my contribution to the world and the world that I would like to live in and the way that I live. And if you're out there and you are looking for, I have met myself in places where I wanted to quit. It's great to get yourself into a joy business class again so you can find your momentum and your mojo. And if you're starting your own business, come on in, and the utilization of the tools change everything. And essentially what it boils down to is the willingness to care for you and look after you in the way that you live, in the way that you create money, and in the way that you create business.
Mm. And not making failures real and true, and
Yeah.
actually not making failure as something that distracts you and as a reason for not to start, and actually starting to allowing yourself to make choices in the direction that you would like to live and explore and actually have the joy of that.
It's so funny when you say not make failure real and true. I've seen myself and you and many people I've worked with over the last 9 years let go of a failure point of view. And if it was true, it wouldn't change.
Yeah. And how come failures would be true if you are keep moving and keep choosing?
Yeah, it wouldn't even be something you just keep going, moving towards the energies of what you would like to have as your life and living.
Mm.
So, you know, we invite you, and how does it get any better than this? That's the Joy Business Tool. And come join us on Saturday night if this is something that you would like to explore. Thanks for being my co-creator and, you know, for coming along on the adventure of business. And have
Fun.
Have a beautiful, it is such a beautiful day in the UK today. It is gorgeous. It's so sunny. I can't wait to get into the forest this afternoon. Have a beautiful day wherever you are, and include your body in your business. I would say that's the most relevant part for me. And we wish you a beautiful, what day is it?
Wednesday. And if you'd like to explore this topic even further, Rachel is starting a Business Done Different class on April 22nd, and we'll be popping the links into the comments as well, where you get to actually have this over 10 weeks with a phenomenal tools. And yeah, so there it is. I just want to put that into people's world as a possibility if you actually are
there's a choice.
Willing to be business done different on the platform.
There's a choice for the creation of your future. Beautiful.
Thanks so much, everybody. Thanks so much, Rachel.
I hope this contributed to you. That's the purpose of these lives, to contribute to you so that you can have more information and education in regard to a different perspective in the way that we do business. Bye, everyone.
Everyone, thanks so much for watching.
Bye.